Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome officially back to the 2007-2008 Green Bay Packer rebuild. That is right. We return to the franchise, and this is going to be interesting because no, the mod has not been updated. The mod's not working still. I don't know if it'll ever get fixed and get back up and running, because like I said previously, the reason we stopped this in the first place was because the creator of the mod they said they just didn't want to work on it anymore, so they weren't going to keep updating it with when Madden updates, or when EA updates Madden. So that's why we had to stop it. But I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure that mod came with a specific roster file. And so I went through my roster files on the game and I found the 2007 file. And so I loaded it up, and as you can see, well, you can't see just yet, we are back. So this isn't the official mod. It's kind of like not like a bootleg, but it's kind of like a toned down version of the mod. It's basically just the roster at this point. There's not the coaches aren't the same. The feel of it isn't kind of this. It's kind of like a vanilla version of the mod, basically. So if that's okay with you guys, then we're going to be running back the Green Bay Packer rebuild. We only got 2 episodes in before I had to end it, but I'm going to try my best to keep this going. If you guys are excited, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's catch back up with where we were with the 2007-2008 Green Bay Packers. So this is where we had left off in the last episode a long time ago at this point. I don't remember what we did. You guys probably don't remember what we did. So it's going to be a relearning experience for everybody. But I do remember one thing. We got rid of Brett Favre. I'm pretty sure we traded him. And we have now got Aaron Rodgers to be our starting quarterback of this team. He is 25 years old, star development, still a super, super low overall, but we're hoping that he can obviously turn into what he turns into in real life, a Hall of Famer. We've got Darren McFadden, and we've got Arian Foster as the backup running back. What draft class did we just do? Did we do the 2000? Let's see. So if we did 2 episodes, we did 2007 to 2008 with the 2008 draft. And then last episode would have been 2008 to 2009 with the 2009 draft. So this is going to be 2009, 2010 with the 2010 draft. And you know who's in the 2010 draft? Rob Gronkowski. So we're going to keep that in mind. I have no idea what this team looks like, though. I know we have Vernon Davis and Greg Olsen, but you can always add another tight end, especially when it's the greatest of all time, Rob Gronkowski. We have Reggie Wayne. We have Calvin Johnson. We have Julian Edelman. We have Greg Jennings. We have Danny Amendola. The offense is looking pretty interesting. And then on defense, we've got Mario Williams, Clay Matthews, James Laurinaitis, threes. We've got Gerard Mayo, head coach of the New England Patriots, although when I got Gerard Mayo, he wasn't the head coach of the Patriots. Now he is. We have A.J. Hawk. We have, who's this? Bob Sanders, but he doesn't have the portrait. See, that's the kind of things that get messed up when the mod's not working. We have Bob Sanders, but his portrait's not the same because the mod just kind of glitches out on some of the portraits when it's just the roster. Same thing with, who is this? With Nick Collins. He looks like Kwity Paye in the portrait, but it's Nick Collins. So you'll notice that around the league when we show some certain players, they won't have the right portrait. That's just something we're going to have to live with if we want to do this series. We have Mario Williams. We have Big Vince. Charles Woodson, probably a little bit older at this point. Max Unger is our starting center. Okay, we've got a very, very good team, but it's very young as well. So let's load up the 2010 season, or 2010 draft class. And it is right here. Okay, Sam Bradford should be in this one. There he is. And Ndamukong Suh, Eric Berry, Trent Williams. Oh, this is a good class. Tim Tebow, Jimmy Clausen. Jimmy Clausen, fun fact, looks like an ostrich. Google Jimmy Clausen and an ostrich side by side, same thing. We'll put Tim Tebow on the thing because that's fun. CJ Spiller, that's going to be interesting. Okay, I'll keep him in mind. Joy Bell, LeGarrette Blount. I love LeGarrette Blount was one of my favorite Patriots of recent memory. Love LeGarrette Blount. Ooh, speaking of favorite Patriots, James Devlin, baby. Wide receivers, Demaryius Thomas, Des Bryant. We'll put Des Bryant on here. We'll put Demaryius Thomas on here. Let's see. Golden Tate. Ooh, Emmanuel Sanders. Antonio Brown. I forgot he was in the 2010 class. For some reason I thought he was in 2011. Okay, Antonio Brown's in this one. Victor Cruz as an undrafted. Okay, I like the sound of that. And there he is. Rob Gronkowski, best tight end of all time. And there he is, Aaron Hernandez. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Trent Williams, Russell Kuhn, Brian Bulaga. Left guards, you got Zane Beatles, not a whole lot here. Centers, Marquise Pouncey for sure. Right guards, Mike Iupati. Maybe even Marshall Newhouse, move him to tackle. That could be a nice backup. Speaking of tackles, you got Roger Saffold, move him to guard. Just basically switch him out. And then defensively, JPP, Lamar Houston, Jared Oldrick. There's a couple guys, but Brandon Graham, Derek Morgan, Jerry Hughes, Carlos Dunlap, Everson Griffin. That's a lot of talent. A lot of talent. Even Greg Hardy knocking people out. That's a lot of talent on the right side. D tackles, obviously I got to put Sue on there. Gerald McCoy, Dan Williams, Corey Peters I like. Geno Atkins for sure. Al Woods even. A lot of good D tackle depth, and we could use one. All we have right now is Vince Wilfork, so we'll see what we can do there. Outside linebackers, man, I really thought Jermaine Cunningham was going to be a stud. Spoiler alert, he was not. Navarro Bowman, though, he is a stud. Austin Spitler, baby. I love Austin Spitler. Middle linebacker Rolando McClain was pretty good. Darrell Washington, Brandon Spikes. Love Brandon Spikes. Who else is in this? Man, this is a good class. This is like prime me playing Madden, me watching the NFL. This is like prime right here. All these guys. Sean Witherspoon, Sean Lee. Who else is down here? Vincent Ray, Junior Galletti. Or is it Gillette? I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Gillette. It could be Galletti, though. Kareem Jackson, Joe Hayden, Patrick Robinson, Devin McCourty. Aaron, anybody else? Alteron Werner. Man, this is a good class. This is a really, really good class. It's kind of underrated because, or maybe people look over it because they have like Sam Bradford at the top, but this is a good class. There's a lot of good people, a lot of quality players in this class. We can really build a team quite well. I mean, you got Legion of Boom, Earl Thomas in here. Major Wright. Not that good, but he's in this. And then strong safeties, TJ Ward, Taylor Mays is a stud. And Cam Chancellor. You can build the Legion of Boom with like this class. Kurt Coleman. All right, I think I know where we're heading in the draft. Zoltan Mesko, former Patriot punter. We've got some favorites in this class. Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, maybe even Jimmy Graham, Trent Williams, probably Marquise Pouncey even, one of the defensive linemen, Brandon Graham, Dunlap Hughes, Ndamukong Suh, Gerald McCoy, Geno Atkins, Navarro Bowman. Like, there's so many different people. How many draft picks do I have? That's what I need to know, because I need to figure out if I'm going to be able to get all these guys. So we need to take a look at the draft capital. What are we working with? What are we working with? We're working with 1 first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, no fourth, a 5, 2 6s, and a 7. But we have 2 first-round picks in 2011. Okay, that's interesting. That's a Cam Newton draft. Okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. How are we going to be able to get multiple first-round picks? That is the question. That is the question. 1 first-round pick. Are we going to be good enough? I don't really know, because we have Aaron Rodgers starting. So, oh yeah, I forgot that I signed him for a 7-year contract. We'd have to probably trade somebody like a Reggie Wayne because he's 30 years old. That's probably the only way we can get a first-round pick. I don't think anybody else on this team would garner a first-round pick, I wouldn't think. Certainly not Scott Wells. Is there anybody on this team that would go for a first-round pick? Maybe in a couple seasons Mario Williams would, Clay Matthews, not right now. Gerard Mayo. Not even Charles Woodson at 33 would go for it. Bob Sanders would. Bob Sanders at 99, he would go for a first-round pick, but I'm not trading Bob Sanders, so. Reggie Wayne's the only guy that I would trade for a first-round pick, and it looks like he's not even going to be able to go for a first-round. We'd have to throw something in to get a first-round because he's only getting second-rounders. Do I trade Reggie Wayne? I'll hold off. I'm not going to do it right now because it'd be stupid to trade him for a team that we think is going to be bad, and then they end up being better, and that pick's not going to be as good. So we might as well wait the season. I'm going to simulate to the halfway point of the season. We're going to figure out our game plan, and I'll catch back up with you guys then. All right, we've made it to week 8, and we sit at 3-4 on the season. I'm not really too sure what the move is. I don't really know. DeBrickashaw Ferguson needs a new contract. So does Mario Williams, Greg Jennings, Vernon Davis, AJ Hawk. Oh, wow. Basically everybody that I want on the team needs a new contract. Great. Perfect. Fantastic. Love it. I love spending money. Okay, well, we got to get Mario and we got to get DeBrickashaw back. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to get these two back at least. So, DeBrickashaw for 5 seasons. I know he doesn't want to be here, but we got to try something. So, 14 million, 15 million. Please, DeBrickashaw. He'd sign today if nothing happened. Okay, whatever. So, Mario's got to come back because he's only 24, but he wants to be here slightly more. So we'll give him 13 and possibly 13. Say yes, he's going to come back. So I don't know where that leaves us with DeBrickashaw, but it doesn't leave us in a good spot. That is for sure. Doesn't leave us. And DeBrickashaw would give us a first-round pick, I would assume. So maybe it's going to be a blessing in disguise. I have no idea. The national focus, I don't even know what our scout is. Middle linebacker, quarterback. Well, we don't need either of those. I forgot to change it. So I guess we'll leave it at middle linebacker, I guess. Whatever. I forgot to change the scout. That's okay. And then we've got ourselves. I thought it said we had. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. We're not on week 11. I thought we had something else. Let's see if we can keep winning, or keep losing. I guess would probably be better, right? So let's see if we keep losing, and we do. Go up against the Vikings. Vikings are a pretty good team around this time, so we'll see what happens here. And we beat them. Of course we do. Of course we beat the one team that's actually pretty good. Because this game makes total sense with the simulation. We lose to the Cowboys. We're 4-6. We are in a weird spot. A lot of our young guys are getting development, which is really good. That's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. I'm not really too sure what we're going to do here. Can we afford DeBrickashaw? We still can. I'm going to give him 16 and then 15.5. He's starting to... Come on, DeBrickashaw. Stop it. I want you to be my left tackle. Tricky situation we're in. Tricky situation. We lose again. This is good for us because it gives us a chance to have a better draft pick. And if we can't re-sign DeBrickashaw, then we should be able to trade him for a first-round pick, I guess, which is promising. We have to get... Who'd that say? That said Vince Wilfork, right? Vince Wilfork has to go up for, or has a possibility of going up from star to superstar, which would be awesome. I would love it if he went up from star to superstar. Did he get it? We beat the Commanders. He did it. Vince Wilfork is a superstar development player. That is huge. And 8,000 plus XP goes to the defensive line. That is very, very good. Vince Wilfork being superstar development and still being like reasonably young is very, 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 very good. Nope, this is not what I wanted to be in. Are we going to win any more games? I don't know. Bob Sanders keeps going up. All right. Let's keep getting some losses. That's what I would prefer. That is what I would prefer. We can offer the franchise tag to DeBrickashaw, but I don't even think that would be in our best interest. I think the best thing for us is going to be either getting him to re-sign or just bailing on it and trading him for a first-round pick. Because Trent Williams is in this class. So there is a possibility that we could get another first-round pick, just draft Trent Williams, and have our replacement basically already done. So we ended up, I think, on a 3-game win streak, but we didn't make the playoffs. So that does, in fact, hurt our development, which is kind of frustrating. I need to go into the staff and make sure that we have everything bought out. I think we do. I must have did this early. Yeah, okay. So we have the whole tree bought out. I even have the hometown discount thing upgraded. He's still not working with me, which is kind of frustrating. Is there? Of course. Oh no, that's defense. Left and right tackles. Okay, let me buy this. Maybe we can increase the likelihood of him signing if we do that. We have a ton of points. Might as well buy everything here. Make sure everybody's easy to sign, especially on the offense. Scheme fits now are a little bit better, and we might as well buy the defensive stuff too. Oh, I can only go down. Why can I go down one side on the defense, but only one side? What? That makes no sense. All right, well, we looks like we're going to be getting defensive linemen instead of safeties. I didn't realize we couldn't go down both sides. Outside linebacker? Oh, I can get both of them. Okay, I was going to say, if I can't get both of them, I don't know where to go. Unlock one player's not in here. Okay. So, I don't know why they wouldn't let me go down both sides on this, but they let me go down both sides on that. I have no idea what's going on here. Whatever. But we got the player personnel tree looking pretty good now. So, at least that could help if we boost the likelihood of tackles being able to sign with us and we simulate so that it actually activates. Maybe then DeBrickashaw will want to sign. But maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it is smart to just trade DeBrickashaw Ferguson and get Trent Williams, because this is like the perfect time to need a new left tackle. You're getting a Hall of Famer in Trent Williams. So maybe it would be in our best interest to do that, because we'd be saving money. Although, what's his penalty? Does he have a crazy penalty if we trade him? DeBrickashaw Ferguson has a 0 penalty. It's only a $1.5 million savings, but he has no penalty. So that's perfect. Mario Williams has a $78 million penalty. Okay, so that basically solves our issue. We can spend that money, the money that we have. It's Eagles Chargers, by the way, in the Super. Let's go take a look at the stats. We can basically use that money we were going to spend on DeBrickashaw on like Julian Edelman and all those other guys that we had. So Aaron Rodgers in I'm pretty sure his first year as a starter, 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 15 picks. Is this his first year as a starter? Let me take a look at the stats. He started last year. Okay, so I couldn't remember how many years, if we had Brett Favre the first 2 years, or if we had him for just the one. We looks like we just had him for the one, and he significantly sucked this year. Rodgers had a down year. That's not good. Darren McFadden, 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. Calvin Johnson, 1,100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Greg Jennings was a touchdown merchant this year. Almost got 1,000 yards. And then defensively, 121 tackles from Nick Collins. 94 for Clay Matthews, 83 for Gerard Mayo, 77 for Woodson, 20 tackles for loss from Matthews, 18 for Mario Williams, 16 for Vince Wilfork, Kevin Carter had 15, Mayo had 12. Sack leader was Wilfork with 12.5. No wonder he went up from star to superstar. Matthews 11.5, Mario 8, 5.5 for Carter, 2 for Bob. A lot of picks. 4 for Mayo and Woodson, 3 for Ty Law, 2 for Sanders, Collins, and Bush. Boosh. And then Brandon Carr had 1. A lot of turnovers. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we are in the Super Bowl. It's Eagles-Chargers. I would assume the Eagles are going to win, but it's Madden. You never know. Anything can happen. I mean, the Chargers got here, but they lose in the Super Bowl to the Eagles. So Donovan McNabb, all those guys get a championship. Congratulations to them. It's not Donovan. It's Peyton Manning. What the heck? Okay, congratulations to Peyton Manning for being the quarterback of the Eagles. Not something I expected to say in this video. Carson Palmer gets MVP, Marvin Lewis Coach of the Year, Torrey Holt is the Offense Player of the Year, and DeMarcus Ware is the Defense Player of the Year, and then Matt Stafford, rookie quarterback for the Commanders, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then we got Clay Matthews getting Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's awesome. That means Clay Matthews might have gotten a development trade upgrade, unless he was already an X Factor when he... That's not what I want to do. Unless he was already an X Factor when we drafted him, but I doubt it. I don't think he would have been an X Factor straight off the bat. Maybe he would have been. I was going to say we know for a fact that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to go up because he had such a bad season, but he does go up to 73 overall, so that's something. Arian Foster is an X Factor, which is awesome. Max Unger is a superstar, which is awesome. Everybody else stays the same. And then on defense, Gerard Mayo is an X Factor. Matthews is an X Factor. Did this go up because of the thing, or is it because he was just straight up an X Factor? I was wrong. I apologize. I was not familiar with your work, Clay Matthews. I apologize. He was straight up an X Factor. All right, cool. Laurinaitis is a superstar. Woodson's superstar. Vince Wilfork we knew about. Wow, that's a lot of good development on the defensive side. And I guess on the offense. The offensive line's looking really, really good. We need to probably upgrade. We could upgrade the center, but Max Unger I think will start out to develop, especially because he's a superstar now. So I think he should. DeBrickashaw's an interesting one. I do not know what to do with him. I think we're going to trade him. I think that's the smartest thing to do. So if we go into this, we could just spend that money. I think somebody else might have retired or something because we had a little bit more money. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean they retired. It could just be the cap like cycling over the new year. But we have $66 million, which is as much as we had when we were initially offering both DeBrickashaw and Mario Williams. Now Greg Jennings needs a new contract. Well, he already did, but he's now asking for 85. Vernon Davis. Oh, man, there's so many good players. We might as well just accept the option on Mason Crosby. AJ Hawk needs a new contract, and he wants to be here. Man. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we got to bring AJ Hawk back. So that's something we're going to do. And he wants to be here, so we don't have to offer him too much craziness. He's coming back. I also want Julian Edelman back. Hopefully we don't have to offer him anything insane. How about that? He's going to come back. We have $44 million. Can we get Vernon Davis back? Or should we go for Greg Jennings? We probably should go for Greg Jennings, considering we were thinking about trading Reggie Wayne. So, if we can get Greg Jennings back, although we're probably going to have to pay him a little bit more than I'm wanting to. 10.5. He enjoyed playing for me, but he wants to go test free agency. We could give him the franchise tag, which would be 27. And then DeBrickashaw would... Maybe we can get DeBrickashaw back. I mean, we can afford to get DeBrickashaw back, but do we want to get DeBrickashaw back? That's the big question. What about this for Vernon Davis? Please accept it. Please accept it. Please accept it. He's going to come back. So we get Vernon Davis back. We have $26 million, and we're going to have to trade DeBrickashaw, Greg Jennings, and probably Reggie Wayne, too. I know that we can probably get a first-round pick for DeBrickashaw Ferguson. That's pretty much a guarantee, I would think. Second-round picks are the highest. I would think that we'd be able to get a first-round pick. He's 26 years old, and he's a superstar development player, 88, 89 overall. I'm assuming we're going to be able to get a first-round pick. I don't think we're going to be able to get a high first-round pick. Who needs a left tackle? The Broncos need a left tackle. They're picking at pick 18. Who else needs a left tackle? The Dolphins need a right tackle. You're telling me every team in the league doesn't need a left tackle? Everybody needs a left tackle. That's crazy. Two teams? Who's everybody's left tackle? 76 overall, 84, 89. Oh, come on, Denver. Okay, they were one that needed it. Okay, I was going to say, you're telling me you don't need a left tackle? Who else? There's got to be other sucky players on this. I mean, nobody else. You're telling me that you're going to stick with Jacob Bender, hardly know her, over to DeBrickashaw Ferguson, New York? Are you serious? What's your draft pick? What is your draft pick? You pick at pick number 2. That fits perfectly with me. I hope you're willing to give me this first-round pick, because I will also give up assets. I will give up a 2012 second-rounder, and we get up to the orange. I will also give up a 2011 third-rounder, and then I will give up a 2012 fourth-rounder. Okay, I'll give up a 2012 third-rounder. Oh, that's so close. That's just so very close. I'll give up my 2010 7. Trade offer accepted. So DeBrickashaw, a 2, 2 3s, and a 7 gets us the second overall pick in the draft this year. That's useful. I don't even know what our own draft pick was. So DeBrickashaw's out of here. DeBrickashaw leaves. What's our own draft pick look like? Pick number 15. I can trade up if I need to. And then we got to get rid of Greg Jennings and probably Reggie Wayne. I mean, we don't have to get rid of Reggie Wayne, but it'd probably be in our smartestness if we could get rid of him. Although, maybe we shouldn't trade him for a draft pick. Maybe we should trade him for a player. Is there a player that I could trade him for that would make sense? That's not the right Steve Smith. I was thinking for a second, that's not the right Steve. That's the right Steve Smith. But he's 31. Randy Moss is 33. Is that Reggie White? Oh, it's Roddy White. Why did I think it was right? I knew who I was talking about. I don't know why I said Reggie White. That's who I was meaning. It was Roddy White. Santonio Holmes. Ugh, I love Santonio Holmes. Okay, I guess there's not really a receiver that I'd want to trade for except for like Chad Johnson, but I know that's not Chad Johnson's picture. I understand. Like I said, it's the mod or the roster has the messed up portraits. I think we should go for a draft pick. But what draft pick would Greg Jennings go for? Like the 27th? Not really. Would we have to go for like a next year first rounder? Would that be a little bit more valuable? No, that's even worse. Okay. Well, who's got like the last pick in the draft? The Chargers have pick 31. What'd that say? Oh, they have no money. Oh, sucks to suck. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl. They have pick 32. They have money. Okay, that's a little bit more reasonable. I could probably get this to work, but I'd have to give up even more draft capital, and I don't really want to do that. So I bet I could get a second rounder for him. I could get a second round pick. It's the final second round pick of the draft. But if I throw a couple bummy wide receivers alongside it, okay, that didn't work. I thought that was gonna work. That didn't work. I can give up. I have 2 4s. I have a 5 and 20. Man, we are gonna have no picks in 2020 or 2012. That's for sure. We get another second round pick for Greg Jennings. I think I'm gonna keep Reggie Wayne for right now. I know it's probably not the smartest thing to do, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep him around. We have 17 million, and I'm not going to bring back anybody else. Jonathan Casillas is just whatever. Kevin Carter had a good year, but he's going to leave. He's too old, so we can move to free agency. We're not really have enough money to do crazy things in free agency. We got some focus players to take care of. Who are we going to use this on? We're going to use this on Antonio Brown. We're going to use it on Gronkowski. And we're going to use it on somebody else. Carlos Dunlap. Bada bing, bada boom. That's who we're going to use those focus players on. And then when we get to the private workouts at the end, we'll use it on 3 different guys. Time for free agency, though. Free agency has Leonard Davis. Has a couple offensive linemen, which we could be in need for. Devin Hester, but you don't really have the money. I don't think we're going to sign anybody. We just don't really have the money to do so. I think we should just build through the draft. And there's not really anybody that I absolutely have to have. Yeah, everybody, I mean, there's some good players in here, but I don't have to have any of these guys. I don't absolutely need to spend my money. So I think we're just going to save that money, let it roll over and into the next season, and just try to figure out this draft situation. So we're going to need a left tackle because we just traded Jabrikashaw. So that's Trent Williams. Boom, done. Figured it out. But I also want Rob Gronkowski. I don't know how we're going to get Rob Gronkowski, though. That's a big issue. There's other players that I want in this class, like Ndamukong Suh. But we only have 2 first-round picks. Now, Gronkowski was projected to be round 1 to 2. That doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to go in round 2. And if he does, it's probably like the top picks of the second round. But we can trade up and make some things happen, make some magic happen. Private workouts. All right, let's do this. Who do we got? We know Tim Tebow is potentially undrafted. We know Antonio Brown is round 1. We know Gronkowski's round 1. And we know that Carlos Dunlap is round 1 to 2. Gino, Navarro Bowman, and Rolando McClain. Those are the guys I want to use. I want to focus on, and then we need to take a look at this mock draft number 5. We need to see this mock draft number 5. So the Colts are going to take Sam Bradford number 1. They don't have Peyton Manning because he just won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. James Devlin is going to go 2 to us. That's not going to happen. And then Ndamukong Suh going to go 3 to the Lions. That might not happen either. Where do they have everybody projected? Dez, 11. Gronkowski is 14 to the Chiefs. I would hate that. Absolutely hate that. And then big one, Trent Williams is projected to go to us at 15, so we don't even have to move for that. That's huge. That's very, very huge indeed. Okay, so we either stick it to and take Ndamukong Suh. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Or we trade down, get more assets, and take like Geno Atkins later in the draft. That's also a possibility. Or I guess we could take Gronk. Do I want... I mean, I obviously want Gronk, but we have Vernon Davis, we have Greg Olsen. It's not like we need Gronkowski, but I do love me some Rob Gronkowski. Greatest tight end of all time. Oh. This is quite the draft. This is quite the draft predicament. I think what we have to do is we have to stick it to and take Ndamukong Suh. I think that's the smart thing to do. Man, I'm just rhyming all over the place. Because we have Vince Wilfork. We don't need Gronk. Even though it'd be awesome to have Gronk, we don't need Gronk. We need Trent Williams. We don't really need Ndamukong Suh either, to be fair. Because we have Wilfork. Okay, let me rethink this. We need defensive line. We don't really need Vince Ndamukong Suh. He's amazing. I love Ndamukong Suh. One of my favorite players of the 2010s. But we don't really need him because we have Vince Wilfork. We need defensive linemen more than we need D-tackle. Or we need edge rusher, I guess. That's where like a Jason Pierre-Paul or a Brandon Graham comes in. So we could trade number 2, trade down in the draft, and still come away with a good player. I don't know who that good player is, because Brandon Graham's going to go number 8. I didn't think this was going to be as much of a decision as it is. So what we're going to do here, what are we going to do? We're going to trade down from number 2. Carlos Dunlap's projected to go number 1 or round 1. Everson Griffin's a possibility, or we could just take Jerry Hughes or Brandon Graham. Man, I don't really know what to do I? I don't really know what to do. All right, I do know that we're going to trade down. We're going to trade down for number 2. We just don't need Ndamukong Suh. It's just not the smart thing to do. It'd be a waste of a pick when we can use that pick to get more picks in return. So number 1 overall pick is in fact Sam Bradford going to the Colts. Now it's our pick. We could take Ndamukong Suh, but we don't need him. We don't need him. What we do need is more assets. More valuable assets. I'm looking for multiple first-round picks like the Steelers, who are giving me 3 first-round picks and a 3rd. Saints are trading me. They want to go up from number 5 to number 2. I'm looking for at least 2, preferably 3 first-round picks. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that, but that's what I'm looking for. I mean, we're getting it, but it's from the teams that I don't really want it from. Let's see. Who was the first? It was the Steelers. Pick 24, and then 2 more first-round picks, and then a 3rd in next year's draft. That's not that bad. Seattle's also an interesting offer, but they're not giving me one for this year. What was the team? It was the Cowboys giving me the same offer, basically just 1 pick higher. Man, nobody's really giving me that good of a deal. I mean, I know that I could probably make my own trade, but I mean, the Steelers deal is probably the best one. Steelers deal is probably the best one. We get 3 first-round picks out of it. I know the Steelers are probably going to be pretty good in 2011 and 2012, but that's 3 first-round picks. That's that's another first-round pick added on to 2011, which we already have the Bengals first-round pick, so we would have 3 next year in next episode, which is something I would love. I think I'm going to do this with the Steelers. We're going to trade down to pick 24. Steelers trade up, and we get 2 extra first-round picks. And they will use that pick to take Ndamukong Suh. The Lions take Tyson Alualu, so they were always going to take a D tackle. They were just hoping that it was Ndamukong Suh. Pierre Paul, Gerald McCoy, Dan Williams, Brandon Graham, Demaryius Thomas. There goes Dez. Devin McCourty, Sean Witherspoon, and Mike Iupati. This is where Gronk was projected to go. He was projected to go right here before us when we were going to take Trent Williams. Let him go. Let him go. Take him. Yep, they took him. I couldn't justify it. Just the same way I couldn't justify Ndamukong Suh, I couldn't justify taking Gronk. But I can justify Trent Williams. So that's a Hall of Famer right there that we just grabbed. Franchise left tackle, at least hopefully for a while. Franchise left tackle. At least for 5 years. That's a nice pickup. Lamar Houston, Linval Joseph, Sean Lee, Joe Hayden. That would have been nice. Jared Odrick, Nate Allen, Kareem Jackson, and then Golden Tate. Okay, so we're back up again. We didn't have to trade up at all. We're still in a pretty good situation. Antonio Brown is round 2. We have pick 15, pick 22, and pick 32. I don't know if Antonio Brown's going to make it that far. I can't take him in the first round, though, can I? Can I take Antonio? I know that sounds crazy, but can I take Antonio Brown in the first round? Patrick Robinson. Earl Thomas is still here. I forgot about that. Oh. I think I'm going to take Earl Thomas, and then we're going to trade up in the second round to get Antonio Brown. That's the goal. That is the goal. Derek Morgan ends up on the Titans. Dexter McCluster, Jerry Hughes, Carlos Dunlap. Oh, Patriots. Ah! The Chargers reach for Antonio Brown and take him in the first round. Second to last pick. Unbelievable. He was projected to go to round 2 and 3. I thought I would at least have a chance in the second round to get him. Unbelievable that he goes there. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, well, looks like we'll have to get Victor Cruz then. Marquise Pouncey is still on the board. That's actually kind of crazy. I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go Marquise Pouncey. I know we just took Max Unger with the previous year's pick, but Marquise Pouncey on the board in the second round, I can't pass that up. I can't pass that up. Marquise Pouncey's too good. Pick 22. Griffin, Geno Atkins. Did freaking Navarro Bowman go? Navarro Bowman went? That's crazy. Navarro Bowman went. All right, brother. Whatever, dog. Whatever. I guess I got to start reaching. I'm going to take Cam Chancellor. I guess I got to start reaching. I didn't think I was going to have to reach. It's so hard to tell, man. It's so hard to judge who's going to get taken when. People are the AI is just so random, man. It's so hard to figure out where they're going to go. They left Geno Atkins. Griffin's off the board, which really does suck. Greg Hardy's still there, though. I'm probably going to grab Geno, I guess. I was looking to grab him anyway, but I guess I got to reach for him a little bit higher then. Round 3, pick 15. Cole McCoy and Tebow are still on the board. Roger Saffold. Why is Roger Saffold still available? because he has normal development. That's probably why. Although Roger Saffold's a very good player. I'm not mad at that pick. That is a quality NFL player right there. All right, this is our last pick until the 5th round. We don't have a 5th round pick or 4th round pick, so we got to make this count. Who do we want? Who do we want? Do we want Alteron Werner? Is he good enough to fill in for corner? I think we're gonna go with. I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. I don't know who we're gonna go with. Do I want Alteron Werner? I kind of do. I kind of want him. He's probably going to be normal development. He is. I kind of want... I like Alteron Werner. He's a very quality NFL player. I do like him. But now we have to see who's going to be there in the 5th round. We have a lot of waiting to do. Who's available? Tebow's gone. Cruz, Hardy, and Sam Shields. Okay, all 3 of those guys I want to grab. So, I don't know how many draft picks we have left. Okay, we have 3. Perfect. We can hopefully grab all of them. I'm going to grab Greg Hardy first. Hidden development, but hopefully he's a higher overall than Will Smith is. I think Will Smith's only like a 70 or something. Then we'll simulate to the 6th round. And hopefully both of them are still there. Victor Cruz is, and Sam Shields. Okay, so we'll grab Victor Cruz. And then we'll go into the final pick, which is pick 30 of the 6th round, and grab ourselves, hopefully, Sam Shields if he's available. I was going to take Tebow, and he is. Okay. I was going to take Tebow, but he just... 97 speed? That's crazy. He just got taken. We didn't have a 4th round pick. If we had a 4th round pick, I probably would have taken him. If he would have been on the board. And that ends the 2010 NFL Draft. I feel like we made the right decisions, but I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on this one. Trent Williams 76, Thomas 75, Shields 74, Geno's a 72, Pouncey's a 69, nice. Werner's a 66, Chancellor's 64, Cruz. Okay, so a lot of low overall guys, and Greg Hardy's actually a 60. Ugh. Okay, that's not what I was hoping for. Best player in the class was Ndamukong Suh, 83 overall. I passed up on an 83 overall. That's the name of the game, baby. Where's Antonio Brown? Gronk is a 75. AB is a 72. Man, I didn't think he was going to go. I really didn't. Why tell me round 2 to 3 and then have him go in the 1st round? Like, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? How are you going to tell me that and then have him go in the 1st round? The lineup, we will adjust it, have all the new guys fill in. So Brown, they actually have Trent Williams playing right tackle. That's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter. Offense is interesting, that's for sure. Hopefully we get another good year or we get a better year than this past season for Aaron Rodgers so we can continue to develop. The defense looks really, really good. We're going to have to rock with Will Smith again. Corners are interesting. Safeties are interesting. Linebackers are interesting. A lot of stuff is very interesting on this Packer team. But that is going to do it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. I hope you guys are happy and excited that this is most likely back. I'm super excited about it. I know that it's not the exact same because the mod just doesn't work anymore, but it's at least something. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.